Let me tell you something most people won't say. Shit, I didn't want to say it to myself at one time. Yo, if your life feels off right now, if your relationships feel different, if your routine is slipping, it's not because you're failing. It's because something in your life no longer meets your standards. Don't let that go over your head. And I had to realize that because it actually brought 3 words. And these 3 words you need to understand if you're trying to level up. Standard, separation, alignment. And we discussed standard, alignment. So most people focus on motivation, but we know motivation is temporary. Spoke about that before, just a reminder. Standards are what we live by when you don't feel like it. Just a reminder, wanted to give y'all that. Also, just a heads up, like just to get it clear, a standard is a non-negotiable level you hold yourself to. So when you hold yourself to that, you know it's not convenient. Or just when you're motivated, it happens every day. And that's where the problem lies for most people, even myself at times. A lot of people say they have the standards, but their actions don't match them. So what happens? You start feeling off, not because of life is against you, but because you're living below what you said you required for yourself. You actually went against your own word. Your integrity don't mean nothing to you. So here's where it gets a little uncomfortable for a lot of people, myself included. Once you set a real standard, separation becomes necessary. And most people don't want to hear this, right? Because separation just doesn't apply to our habits. It applies to our environments, our conversations, the people. It applies to people. And let me give you a real way to look at it. Libraries, right? Sometimes you just on a different page from someone. You're not even in the same chapter, right? Think about it. Not even in the same book or the same shelf at all. Fuck it. Let's take it deeper. You're not even in the same library. And that's why things fall off, because you're trying to stay connected to something that's not in alignment with where you're going. You're in a whole different library. You got different sections, right? So here's where alignment comes to the key, because alignment is something, isn't something you chase. It's something that happens after the separation, because let me say that again. Let me be clear. Alignment is not about adding more to your life. It's about removing what doesn't belong, the distractions, the habits, the patterns, the energies, right? And once you remove what doesn't meet your standard, alignment becomes natural. Whoa. And I'm starting to see that. And I've seen it before. I'm starting to see it again as I'm dealing with this work. So if things feel uncomfortable right now, if people are acting different, if your routine feels shaky, it's not failure, y'all. That's the process of your life trying to realign itself. The real question is, are you going to raise your standard and separate, or lower your standard just to stay comfortable? That's the question I have to ask myself every day, man. Because the temptation is there, things happen, man. So I'm keeping in mind that you don't rise to your goals. You fall to your standards. We discussed that before. And whatever you refuse to separate from, you choose to stay connected to. Adding that to it. So if this hits you, subscribe to the channel, y'all. This is FreeFactsMedia. Real rap, no cap, all facts.